Hi there. In this video, we talk about polynomials and what they are. A polynomial is an algebraic expression of the form a sub n x to the power n plus a sub n minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 plus a sub n x to the power n minus 2 and so on until you get to a sub 2 x to the power 2 plus a sub 1 x to the power 1 plus a sub 0. So any expression that looks like that is called a polynomial expression. Your a sub n's, a sub n minus 1, a sub n minus 2, and so on, a sub 2, a sub 1, a sub 0, they belong to the set of real numbers. And you remember what real numbers are. They are made up of the integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, rational numbers, and irrational numbers. So those coefficients, they can be any of those things. Okay, so they are called real number coefficients because they belong to the set of real numbers. For the polynomial, the n in the polynomial for the exponent belongs to the whole numbers. That means it can only be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Any of those things it can be. It can't be a fraction. And n is always the highest exponent. Okay, like in this polynomial expression, n is the highest exponent. And that highest exponent is the degree of the polynomial. If you have coefficients of the polynomial be integers, then you say that your polynomial is a polynomial with integral coefficients. Okay, so in this generic form that I've just written down, the polynomials have real number coefficients. Okay, so this is a polynomial with real number coefficients. But if you have a polynomial with integers as coefficients, you say that it's a polynomial with integral coefficients. Now, this polynomial, generic form that we had before, a polynomial is made up of terms, like in this generic form. So a sub n x to the power n, a sub n minus 1 x to the power n minus 1, and so on. These are the terms of the polynomial, and they are separated by addition or subtraction. The term in your polynomial expression, the term that has the highest exponent, is called the leading term of the polynomial. And the coefficient of the leading term is called the leading coefficient of the polynomial. A sub 0 is the constant term in the polynomial. It's always going to be some number. For example, look at this polynomial here. 2x to the power 4 plus 1/2 x cubed minus x squared plus 11. There are 4 terms in this polynomial, and the degree of the polynomial is 4, 4 being the highest exponent in the polynomial. The leading term in the polynomial is 2x to the power 4. The leading coefficient is the coefficient of the leading term, which is 2, and the constant term is 11. You can see that this polynomial has real number coefficients. Okay, you have 2, 1/2, -1. The constant term is 11. Look at another example here. Negative 4x squared plus root 7 times x minus 1.35 times x to the power 4 minus 5 plus 6x cubed. There are 5 terms in this polynomial expression. The degree, that's the highest exponent in there, is 4. The leading term is negative 1.35 x to the power 4. The leading coefficient is the coefficient of the leading term, negative 1.35, and the constant term is negative 5. You can see the coefficients there. Root 7 is a coefficient, right? So it's an irrational number. You have real number coefficients in this example as well. Look at this other example. Negative 2x cubed plus 5 plus 3x plus 7x to the power 6. You can see that here you have integral coefficients, right? The coefficients there are integers. Okay, so there are 4 terms here, and there are 4 terms, but there are some terms that are missing in here, right? Whenever you're having a polynomial where the powers are not all present in here, that means that the terms, the powers that are missing have coefficients of 0. That's what that means. The degree of this polynomial is 6. That's the highest exponent in there. The leading term is 7x to the power 6 The leading coefficient is 7 and the constant term is 5. So why don't you try this yourself? You try and figure out the terms, how many terms there are in this polynomial, the degree of this polynomial, the constant, the leading term, leading coefficient, and the constant term. Now what you should do now is to pause this video now and try this example, and when you have finished, you can continue the video to compare what you did with what I have done. So go ahead and pause the video now. So what did you do? Here is what I have done. Here, there are 3 terms in this polynomial. The degree of the polynomial is 4, that's the highest exponent. The leading term is 3x to the power 4. Leading coefficient is 3. The constant term is 0. Or you can say there is no constant term, because it's just not there. So this marks the end of our video on what polynomials are.